Hello, Living Through Your Vision. Happy Saturday. How's everyone? I hope everyone is having an amazing day or had an amazing day. It's starting to get dark here in dusk in sunny South Florida. I'm just going to sometimes I'm just going to like drop, little videos here and there as I think of things that is pertinent. And trust me, a lot of what I'm about to say is synonymous to certain things that are going on in my life and everything. Um, and I just feel like in terms of growth and evolution, as I experience something or have a thought about it, I'm just going to share it with you guys because I want it to be, organic. I want it, the authenticity of what I'm about to say to be felt because I think that is a real significant part of our growth on a whole, whether we're going through a spiritual awakening or just a normal day-to-day situation that may arise. So I'm going to be dropping little videos here and there, just to express some of those feelings and these spontaneous things, these organic type of thoughts that I be having. But I want to talk about apologies. Apologies. Um, a lot of times we get into confrontations with different people, and it could be many, many moons ago, and you have a situation where you are engaged with somebody, and we always say the saying, hurt people, and this and that, or what have you. But then when you have a sibling, or if you have a child, or if you have a spouse, you are more, you're more closer to these people. So therefore, the opportunities are more available to, have certain experiences that sometimes, you really just brush it off because you either live with that person or that's your husband, that's your wife, that's your significant other, that's, your girlfriend or your child or your mom, dad, family members, cousins, or whatever that you constantly, you're always around. So, they're easily accessible. So a lot more, communication and experiences can happen between you and these people. But something happened to me today where I was actually confronted about the person that I used to be, and and that person was still harboring all of that energy and um, that what comprised me to be that person, those experiences that comprised me, that those unhealed experiences that comprised me to be that person actually came out, today. And, a lot of times you feel like you may have apologized to somebody, but if they're, in the heat and they still feel the experiences of certain things, sometimes, that apology, may not register. It's nothing wrong, apologizing again. A lot of times, a person will say, "Oh, I apologize," and that's it. But if something happened, let's say in 2013, and they still bringing it up in 2019, it's not necessarily about the circumstances. It's about you evaluating yourself, who you are now, who you were then. And if you're definitely a different person right now versus the type of person that you were then, with the many different things that you were going through, dealing with, that cultivated your behavior, your mentality, your mindset, it's okay to say, you know what, I was a different person back then, and who I am now is not the same, especially if that's the truth, right? So it's okay to say, you know what, I apologize for the experience. Sometimes you may not even remember, especially if it's been a long time ago. You may not even remember the encounter. You may not even remember the experience because you were not on the receiving end of it. But the person that is on the receiving end of it, it could be contributing, to what they're doing in their lives. And this is the key component as to why I say that it's okay to apologize again. Anytime you have an opportunity to promote healing, because healing is very, very important. This is how we move to the next level of our evolution, how we grow. We have to heal from certain things that has transpired in our lives and this makes room for new and more positive things and better things to take place once we start the healing. So it's not necessarily looking at the person like I done already apologized for that and you still dealing with that. Obviously, if they come back at you with the same thing that you remember, have a recall of apologizing for, the healing has not yet been done. And yes, it's still their responsibility, right? They're still their responsibility, but we have an opportunity now to be of service in a positive way. And if you apologizing again, where maybe now this particular time they can hear you and it's going to promote their healing, then apologize. And and you can rephrase it in a different way so that maybe this time they'll remember that we had this conversation or we had this interaction, and you could probably say, what, I was a different person back then, and I can see how this experience really make you feel because that happened so long ago, and we're talking about it now, and what, I am so sorry, that not even about the incident at that time, but now you're more concerned and you want the healing factor to come in because now they've carried that weight to this point, 5 years, 6 years, or what have you. And the opportunity has presented itself for not just to apologize for what took place maybe in 2013, but to the opportunity has presented itself for you to be a part of the healing aspect of that situation. Because we are our brother's keeper, no matter how contrary to popular belief. And yes, it is still up to them to do the work. They have to do the work. They have to ask, God, call it their higher self, whatever it is that they understand, source energy to be. But they do have to do the work. But when we become of service, how we are of service to each other, we don't look at it from a place like, oh yeah, that ain't my problem, that's her problem, I don't apologize, what more you want me to do? No. If it's the apology is not about what took place, in 2013, the apology now is to promote the healing of that, because obviously the healing has not, the energy has not transferred into the energy that is needed for that person to heal from that experience, however they internalize that experience. So it's just giving a different perspective of, how we can look at things, because we've been taught to look at things from a negative mind, negative based sense of understanding instead of a positive based sense of understanding. And our negative based sense of understanding, we don't recognize it as a negative based understanding because it is a part of our social norm. But when you start coming into yourself and your higher self and you start evolving and stuff like that, you start moving in a different energy, and the energy promotes more healing and positivity, and you start seeing things from a different perspective. So for me, for the fact that it was presented to me, something that happened many, many moons ago, I sat down and I said, I was a different person back then. All of the energies that was there at that time, made me, this person that was also hurt. I had a lot of traumatic hurt that I was dealing with that I had not healed from and different things of that nature. And over the course of many years, now I have dealt with a lot of it and healed from a lot of it, and it has allowed me, to be the person that I am today. So you have to learn how to understand that it's not always looking at it from a perspective that you're not going to constantly apologize for something that you've apologized for, because 9 times out of 10 you've apologized for that experience. So if it does come back around to you again, now you're just, if you look at it from a perspective, what, I'm going to be a contributor of the healing aspect of it, and not like, because if a person is already still wounded, the wound is already open. So you don't need to pour salt in it. You know what I'm saying? So, you humble yourself in a sense and say, yeah, this person, how many times I gotta apologize. You might say that internally. But the energy that you want to use to promote that healing so that this person can actually, find peace with the situation and know that you never meant to sorry about that, yeah, guys. Make this a traumatic experience for them. You know what I'm saying? At this day and age, this is the person that you're speaking from. Especially now, if you are at a different level or a different energy, or you've healed, you now can be a contributor positively to that situation when it comes to apologies. We a lot of times we look at apologies like to say, oh, that if I apologize, I ain't apologize again. That's your no. Don't to each their own. But I just wanted to give a different perspective about how we can be of service to each other in a good and positive way, to help promote healing. Especially when you know better, you do better. And I just want to put that out there. Today has been like a really like busy day for me. I'm painting. I got paint all over me and everything, and trying to get the house together. And a lot of times when you're in the midst of the environment of people and you're wondering why they're walking around with such heaviness, if you're energy sensitive like me, like you don't want to feel that energy. Um, so when the opportunity presents itself to heal that energy, then you just jump right on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Just a different mindset of how to look at apologies, because a lot of times we and this is just my opinion. It's not toward for everybody. It makes complete sense to me, but it's not couture for everybody. But it is, if I can explain it properly, it is. It does present itself as an opportunity to promote healing. You know, and when we see that a person, we always say hurt people. So if we see an opportunity where we're not going to be directly impacted by this person's mentality, and we see a quick bridge or a quick way that we can kind of interject some good energy, some positive energy, some compassion or something, we could just, do a quick injection of that. We seize the opportunity, because you never know. It could definitely very well make a difference in the next step or the next state of mind this person is taking, for the betterment of their lives. They may have, they may want to be free, from that bondage of that hurt and that pain. So that's all I have to say, y'all. It's about love, it's about peace, it's about compassion, it's about understanding, it's about being that person that can relate to so many things. But instead of being bitter about it, you want to bring whatever it is, the energies that is needed to make peace with it. Sometimes your peace can be of assistance to somebody else because they can feel the energy. They can feel the energy of your peace. And it's okay to share that peace with somebody else because they need to have that experience of what that feels like so that they can try to do whatever it is so that they can have it for themselves. Because once you get a piece, like once you get that piece, you're like, oh no, how do I get that back? Once you feel it, you don't want it to go away, and it makes you strive all the time to try to to at least keep it around. Sometimes you have some things that goes on or whatever, and it might disturb your peace a little bit, but you're like, I got to get my peace, and you own it to bring yourself back, to your oneness, to who you are. So with that being said, peace and love, everybody. It's a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day today, and I'm painting my house for the holidays. I don't know why I decided to do that, but I did. So once you start, you gotta finish it. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just taking a little break, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right. So peace and love, everybody, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And I shall commit to talking with you guys later. All right. Love you guys. Bye.